Hello, this is Jack from Fluency.com, and this is Why the English Language is Hard to Learn, Part 2. Now, be sure to stay until the end because I have an important lesson for you. And basically, I'm going to give you the key to why I am making this video. Now, today we are going to read a poem by Gerard Nost Trinité, and it was written in 1920 by this Dutch writer, traveller and teacher. And it's called The Chaos. And it says that this is a poem demonstrating the irregularity of English spelling and pronunciation. So it's outlining the fact that English isn't phonetic, that you can't know how a word is said just from the spelling alone. So it's going to give us some examples of where you're going to see words that have similar spellings but different vowel sounds. Okay, so let me read this poem to you. But before I do, know that I had to look up quite a few of the words here because I didn't know what some of them meant and I didn't know how to say some of them. And I'm probably going to make one or two mistakes in this, and I'll let you know in the comment section if I do. So I'm going to read you this poem now, and then, like I said at the end, I've got an important lesson from this poem. Okay, here we go. Dearest creature in creation, studying English pronunciation, I will teach you in my verse sounds like corpse, core, horse, and worse. It will keep you, Susie, busy. Make your head with heat grow dizzy. Tear in eye, your dress you'll tear. So shall I, oh hear my prayer. Pray console your loving poet. Make my coat look new, dear, sew it. Just compare heart, beard, and herd. Dies and diet, lord and word. Sword and sword, retain and Britain. Mind the latter how it's written. Made has not the sound of bad. Say, said, pay, paid, laid, but plaid. Now I surely will not plague you with such words as vague and ague, but be careful how you speak. Say break, stake, but bleak and streak. Previous, precious, fuchsia, via, pipe, snipe, recipe, inquire. Cloven, oven, how and low, script, receipt, shoe, poem, toe. Okay, so that is the poem. It is difficult to read. Something that is interesting is if we go back to this part here, just compare heart, beard, and herd. When these words are part of a different sentence, for example, we have a heart, I'm growing my beard. He heard that. Then I have no problem saying them automatically. But when they're all together, you have to think about it a little bit and think, okay, what? Oh yeah, that word, and that word. So the first thing is that while this poem is fun and it is difficult to read, it's not representative of normal English. So it has been written in a way to make it difficult to read, to outline the fact that when you have the word or letter combinations such as EAR, there could be 3 different vowel sounds here. Now, another example which isn't in this poem is OUGH. There are many different ways that you can say, I think there are 8 in total, OUGH, like though, through, plough, thought, for example. I don't want you to try and read this poem and then feel down about it. I don't want you to say, oh, English is too hard, because the key is this. If you do the right things in English, and if you get lots of listening practice, and if you learn how words are pronounced, either through online dictionaries or by listening or by reading and listening at the same time, then you're just going to naturally know how to say these words. Don't think about this as a logical problem. The fact that we can have these letter combinations that have different vowel sounds. Because if you do that, you're just going to feel down about the fact that logically, English is difficult to learn. So, do the right things in English. Do things like listening and reading at the same time. Look up how a word is pronounced. Listen a lot to English. And then you're just going to internalize the way that words are said. Just like everyone else who has learned English has done in the past. So again, this poem is a bit of fun. It's like a challenge, but don't take it too seriously. Don't feel down and don't get upset about the fact that, yes, English can be hard to learn, but just focus on doing the right things and you are going to make fantastic progress with your English. Now, just another quick thing on this. There are other languages in the world that are difficult to learn because of a certain reason. For example, in Spanish, you can conjugate a verb in various different ways. So I see memes and pictures that say, like a verb in English, the different ways to conjugate the verb. Okay? And then you have the verb in Spanish and the different ways to conjugate the verb. And when I was learning Spanish, I looked at this and thought, oh, this is difficult. How am I ever going to learn it? But I use methods like the Fluency method just to internalize the conjugations, to learn Spanish through sentences, and then learn the most commonly used phrases and internalize that type of grammar. So again, it's just about doing the right things and don't worry about why something might be difficult to learn. Just do the right things on a daily and consistent basis and make fantastic progress. Okay, if you have enjoyed this lesson, please like and share it. Go to the description and check out lessons that are similar to this one. And also, I've got some great resources for you. Things like my book, The 5-Step Plan for English Fluency, which is free to download. And also the Fluency program, which teaches you things like how to say vowel sounds, consonant sounds, minimal pairs, the schwa sound, connected speech, relaxed pronunciation, everything you need to know in order to be able to speak English fluently. So go check that out too. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.